All right, I'm just gonna keep heading up. If I remember right, this cave isn't very long. Let's go to the end. Unless, of course, something blocks me. I just tried exploring Bearpaw Cave. About half a dozen bats in there. I haven't skipped 2 of the dead ends just because there were bats in the way. I didn't want to disturb the bats. So who knows? Maybe I won't be able to get to the end of this cave either. Wow. It's not as steep, but I'm still heading uphill. Notice how the wall is falling apart pretty well. Very rough walls here. Still sort of an arch shape, but you know, definitely ugly cave. Yeah, notice I'm still heading uphill. Ceiling's still about 20 feet above me though. I don't know how much farther up the surface is though. The surface around here is pretty steep too. It's not always obvious, but yeah, this place is not a big flat land. This place is definitely sloped from the southwest downhill to the northeast, roughly speaking. Quite a few exceptions. A lot of ruggedness around here. Lots of little buttes and protrusions. Well, I was planning to go up the left side, but already over here on the right. Looks easier. I'm just going to keep going up. Looks like I'm almost to the end. Notice there's a lot of dirt here. Dirt usually comes through cracks in the rocks, so probably means we're getting close to the surface. Looks like there's a lot of rat droppings too. Same thing, there's probably ways up here into the surface, so we're not really that far down underground. So even though it was a long walk to get here for me, it doesn't mean there isn't another way to get up here. Wow, I'm like going up a 45-degree angle. It's a little bit of work. No bats in this cave though. Definitely warmer than a Bearpaw Cave. Bearpaw Cave, definitely below freezing. I'll explain why it's an ice cave. Anyway. Okay. Oh wow. There's natural light. I feel a strong wind in front of me. I'm totally not going to bother to climb through there though. I'm just not feeling that ambitious today. So yeah, Bearpaw Cave has 2 entrances, but whatever. Now I'm gonna, okay, hang on. So my camera's roughly level now. So you can see the ceiling reasonably level, kind of slopes down way down there. Now I'm going to pan down. Like I said, the reason I'm out of breath, come up here was like a 45-degree angle. It's very loose rock too, so I'm going to be careful on the way down so I don't go too fast. One thing you don't want to do is get momentum going downhill, so you lose control. It's obviously be possible to trip on some of these rocks. See, look at that, I just knocked a little rock loose. If I was standing on that, that might be disorienting. Okay, so here we are. Notice how the ceiling comes way down, the floor goes down. Right now, where I'm standing, the ceiling is maybe 20 feet tall. In the room ahead of me, a spot where it might be 50 feet tall, then it gets shorter again. So it's very uneven. Oops, almost knocked a rock loose. So here's the way I could come up if I stay to the right or the left. I'll go back down this way. At least it's nice and soft. If I fall, it shouldn't hurt too much. Boy, I'm sweating. Since it's so cold and windy outside, I have 2 jackets on. But now that I'm in here, there's no wind except right at the entrance. Obviously, there's technically a wind through here, but it's so big I don't feel it at all. I don't notice the wind at all right here. But anyway, yeah, well. Wow, there we go. I'm going kind of slow here just because it's steep. Oops. Some big rocks in the way. It's easier to just go around them than climb over the top of them. Okay, so I can go through the middle. I can stay to either side. I already went through the middle to look at the ice. I think I'll go over to this left side here. Continue with my plan to go through this thing clockwise, even though I obviously messed it up already. But anyway. Ugh. Oops, nice loose rock for me to go surfing on. It's actually easier to walk up here because it's not one big solid piece of rock. Very sturdy. Don't have to worry about it rolling away underneath me. So let me just turn sideways a second. Pan down a bit. So now I'm looking in this trench. It's like 15 feet down. It's quite a ways down, but there we go. There's the way to the end of the cave. Well, you know, the tiny entrance. Now I'm gonna go ahead and climb up here. Looks a little steep here. Oops, pan the camera up a bit. Looks a little steeper to go straight up on the left. I think I'm gonna skip over to the right, go back up the way I came down. Just so it'll be a bit easier. Obviously there's plenty of stuff to grip on.